Hi, my name is Christopher Goumas, and I was an art director on the show from 1995 to early 2003. One of the things that I really loved about working on the show is that we would do these bits that had no real purpose. It was just an expenditure and some energy that would take something and make it even dumber or funnier. Who knows? But one of these things was called the quiz machine. So we had this machine that was a pneumatic machine with 3 buttons on it, and Dave would do this. Press a button and the thing would flap down, make this noise, another one do, and then you'd pull this lever and the thing would sort of slam shut. Bill Gates came on, he was wearing a hard hat and a lab coat. He ended up breaking it. We'd smash things in the doors. I think Dave liked it, I'm not really sure, but we found out that everybody on the staff hated it and most of America hated it. It always broke down, it was never reliable, and I think that eventually enough of America hated it that we took it out, dragged it onto 53rd Street, and smash it up with a cab.
Dear Dave, I've been a faithful nightly viewer of your show since 1982, but you are changing that, it says here. Every Monday night when you wheel out the quiz machine, I turn the TV off. It's so bad. Please, Dave, do us all a favor and push it off the roof. Kim Stacy, Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. This is, well, you know... Doing the old floating card trick.
I see that.
I'm levitating a card here.
I can see what's behind
I learned that
it.
from David Copperfield. Let's see. Kim, as you know, we have already, relax and thanks for the criticism, we have already replaced the quiz machine. Here now is what the quiz machine looked like. This is the old quiz machine there. We have replaced that now, that's gone, with the brand new Flagstar 3000. There, look at that. You know, but the truth, I want to tell you something about the quiz machine. It served us more or less faithfully for many, many months and provided us with endless hours of entertainment. So no, we're not going to just drop it off the roof. No, that ain't going to happen. Instead, what we're going to do tonight on 53rd Street, we're going to have it run down by a speeding New York City cab. Here we go. Turn on the camera. There it is. And here comes the cab.
Another thing that I remember is, I think it was the second time that the show came out to Los Angeles, we did this remote called Fun in the Car. The prop person out here got this big, giant red convertible, almost like Hunter Thompson's Big Red Shark. And we took it around all of Los Angeles and did all these kinds of silly things. We bolted some groceries to the back and he drove through the farmer's market. We smashed things at an oil place underneath his tires. They wanted to make a taco mobile out of it. So one of my jobs was to go and pick up 400 tacos, which I did, but unfortunately the tacos weren't ready, and I, being very new on the show, was filled with anxiety and trying to get to the shoot in time, was speeding and got pulled over on La Cienega and had to explain why I was speeding and why I had 400 tacos in my back seat.
I'd like 1,200 tacos. We're going to turn the car into a taco mobile.
How many?
Okay, here's all you need for the simple installation for this wonderful surprise. A length of 5/8" tubing, some good strong tape, a brand new replacement dipstick, sealed and shrink wrap, sanitary, that's important, and last but not least, and this is where the fun comes in, a container of chocolate syrup. Let me just check that oil for you. Let's see, oh no, looks like we got plenty of oil. Look at that, does that look about right to you? That oil look okay? Yeah, that's right out of the engine. It's still kind of hot. Not bad.
Attention, citizens of Los Angeles, we have tacos.
I was looking for the 210 and the orange. Can't find the orange freeway. So then I thought, well, what the hell? I go to Ventura. Don't you think it's kind of odd that I'm licking engine oil off the dipstick?
Yeah, a little bit.
That don't bother you?
Not really.
Doesn't bother you?
No.
Would you care for a free taco?
Everybody off the bus. There we go. It's tacos for everyone. Have you ever seen a guy drink motor oil? It's one of those candid camera things. Look, come here. Here we go. I'm Alan Funt Jr. Hey, wave to the truck. Hey, just wave. See? There you go. You want some of this?
Help yourself to the complimentary tacos. I filled my car with tacos and I've gone nuts.
Another thing that we did very frequently was to utilize 53rd Street. One thing that started on the early show was throwing stuff off a 5-story tower, which we then took onto the new show by just throwing stuff off a roof. And one of the things that we always had to do was get 2 of everything. So if we were going to throw pinball machines, we'd have to get 2 of them, one for rehearsal, one for the show. All the prop guys would have to take it all the way up to the top and then load it through this little like 2x2 trap door. The climax of the thing was throwing as many fruits and vegetables, mostly fruits, melons, that we could throw off the roof to sort of indicate fireworks. And for that brief time, especially in the summer, it took this stench of urine and garbage away from the streets, and everything smelled like a wonderful margarita.
Here now, week-old gift-wrapped melons. Here we go. Take it away, Santa.
So one of the things that was, I think, also unique about the show is that everybody on the staff and crew were always sort of in the bits. They acted on the show, which I always enjoyed. And we had sort of people who were, quite capable of acting. But I always appreciated when they used the crew and things. We had Pat and Kenny doing things. 2 of my favorite things Harold Larkin did. One was he gave this impassioned speech on Labor Day about the merits of labor and the commitment of the labor community to making the country great again.
I saw kind of a disturbing Labor Day Labor Department statistic today.
Really?
Yeah. For the first time in 6 years, the productivity rate of American workers dropped drastically. Here now to say a few words about this trend, Late Show head carpenter Harold Larkin. Harold?
Thank you, Dave. As a hard-working American and a proud union member, I really don't care what some government statistic says about me and my fellow laborers. Can a statistic describe the blood, sweat, and tears, the care and precision that my coworkers and I put into everything we do? Can a statistic tell you about the simple feeling of pride that swells up inside your heart at the end of an honest day's work? Can a statistic capture... Quitting time, Dave. I'm out of here.
Harold Larkin, ladies and gentlemen.
And then the other is, I think it was also involving Harold, where Harold opened the door, and then we had a green screen behind there and some kind of glowy thing, and it just ripped his pants off, again, for no reason, which I love those kinds of things in the show. It's right sort of in my lane of comedy, is the sillier and the dumber, the better.
Listen to this. The astronomers have announced the discovery of a massive black hole at the center of the Milky Way galaxy.
Oh.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
And I think we all know what that means.
What?
I don't know. But you can apparently see it now with the naked eye. Did you realize that?
Yeah, I didn't know
So
that.
the Milky Way, if you go out at night, you can see the Milky Way.
You
and
just
there's-
look up and see it, yeah. It seems
Harold, as Harold Larkin, our head carpenter. Harold, do me a favor. Open the door. Let's see if we can get a look at the black hole, all right?
Okay.
Oh, my God.
There it is.
There it is, Dave.
Yeah, I see it.
You can see that.
Wait a minute. Oh, my goodness,
The black hole pulled my pants off, Dave.
I saw that. That's exactly what happened.
Pants were sucked into the black hole.
So another thing that happened on the show over a long period of time, we would either build or acquire these apparatus to shoot things or fling things. I remember I started on the show, they had this donut-a-pult that they would fling donuts into the audience, and the idea is that it would keep one-upping and one-upping and one-upping. It got better and better and better, and then somebody wanted to shoot donuts down 53rd Street, so we built this giant apparatus. I think we spent some dough on it, and it worked horribly. And it was one of the many things. And there's a certain kind of charm to it when things don't work, although when you're in the moment, it doesn't necessarily feel charming.
The donuts, in the force of this thing,
I enjoy that.
shatters the donuts. So tonight, we'll be launching melons. Very much. It was unbelievable. It went about 20 feet, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
We also used to shoot pumpkins down the street. Not a lot of oversight. We just sort of would say, Dave would say, shoot it. We'd shoot it, and one of them pumpkins actually hit a light post at the base and put a dent in it by about 6 inches. And then I think the next time, the idea was that we're going to shoot pumpkins from the New York side of the Hudson all the way over to New Jersey. It's required satellite trucks, it required light rigs. We ended up renting a barge and putting sort of a demarcation zone between New York and New Jersey. I believe they shut down the Hudson in terms of water traffic, and they restricted the airspace to make sure that this worked. And I get a call from the control room and they said, you gotta go and do something. We can't see the pumpkins. Somebody had forgotten to realize that it gets dark really early every year on Halloween. And we tried painting the pumpkins, we tried covering them in light sticks, we tried lighting them on fire, and nothing worked. In the middle of it, when Dave said, shoot the pumpkin, you saw the pumpkin for about 1/10 of a second, even in slow motion. But even more horrifying and kind of hilarious is that the people who were on the barge knew that pumpkins were being launched, but they couldn't see them coming. So they were cowering behind the sort of wheelhouse and hoping that they didn't get beamed by some of these giant 8-pound pumpkins shooting over towards New Jersey. It was one of those things that it was almost funnier that it didn't go well. And the delightful thing is that Dave seemed to enjoy that it didn't go well. So I guess it worked out.
During the commercial, our executive producer, Rob Burnett, approached the desk. He asked permission, of course. And he said this to me. He said to me, looked me right in the eyes, and he said, we're screwed on these pumpkins. And I said, what's the matter? And he says, you're not going to be able to see anything.
Right.
You know that glow-in-the-dark tape?
Doesn't work.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead, pick up the remote control. Do whatever you have to do. How much did we spend on getting the cannon out here?
Really?
Yeah.
$41,000.
Okay, Max, anytime, boy. Take it away. Here we go.
Okay, I'm going to put a little more pressure in here,
Good
Dave.
idea. How many PSI do you have now?
We've got just enough to reach New Jersey.
All right. Here we go.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Pretty good. Okay, let's take a look at it now in slow motion instant replay. Here we go, the pumpkin. There you, Well, okay, stop. That glow-in-the-dark tape really does the trick. It's so bright, it's hard to look at. Don't look directly at the pumpkin.
I don't know if you ever knew this, but when we couldn't get a car, so we'd just go to Hertz and rent it, and we would break the windows. We would just take it back. Yeah. And then eventually I think Hertz said, we're not giving you any more car. Remember, there was also the time where Paul almost got his face blown off by a peanut butter. Hey man, that isn't cool. You know, it was like one of those things.